Big Thunder Mountain is one of the most popular rides at the Disneyland Paris resort. This version of the ride is distinct from its counterparts around the globe, because Disney Imagineering designed it to be staged mostly on an island within the rivers of the Far West. The ride is manufactured by Vekoma. It's one of their mine train models and opened in Disneyland Park on April the 12th, 1992 as an opening day attraction. Before we go any further, if you could hit that like button and consider becoming a subscriber, we here at The Real Review would really appreciate it. This is a ride that in my opinion can be split into 4 distinct parts, and yes, it is a long ride with 3,953 feet of track and a total ride time of 3 minutes and 56 seconds. The trains on this one are long, and they get those trains out fast with dual loading platforms that are in constant use, pumping a train out every 30 seconds or so. 30 riders over 15 rows of 2 can ride this thing at once. You start your journey on the mainland, and as you leave the station you immediately drop underground and start building up speed as you pass under the river. You take a right turn and then roll into your first lift hill. This hill is fully enclosed and climbs up through heavily themed caves with pools down below, and then crests the top and out into the open. Now you're entering the second part of the ride with some fast twists, turns, and then a left down to the water level for a splash element when it's turned on, and the on-ride photo. You then bank to the left and roll up into your second lift hill. This hill is totally outside and takes you up to your highest point on the ride, and once again, this area, this whole ride in fact, is incredibly themed. There is not an inch here that has not been carefully crafted, and it really adds to the ride. Now you enter what I consider the third section of the ride, and this part is wild. We have fast twists and turns, and depending on the time between dispatches, you may see another train coming in the opposite direction. This section features a 540-degree helix, which is taken at some speed, and what I consider to be one of the best head chopper elements ever put on a ride. After this, you bank right and enter the third lift, which begins the fourth and final part of this outstanding ride. Many versions of Big Thunder, this one included, were updated a few years ago to include an explosive finish on this lift. As you climb up, your train carriages actually rock from side to side, and projected fuses start lighting on the sides of the walls and on the ceilings of the cave, and then all of a sudden you see a projected explosion. If you are lucky, and I mean if you are lucky, there will be a smoke effect fired from several points around the lift, but this element rarely actually works here in Paris. You then blast out at the top, get a view of Sleeping Beauty Castle, and bank around to your left, around the side of the mountain and into a final tunnel to start the return back to the mainland. This return, though, is one of the most surprising parts of the ride, and I'm pretty certain it is where you hit your top speed of 40 miles per hour. Totally in the dark, because there are no trim brakes here at all. You enter the tunnel, bank to the left and start descending, and it does not let up with the speed. You then take a final left turn at quite a high speed and fly into the final small lift hill, which also acts as a sort of brake run. At this point there is quite a jolt, so if like me you have a disability, be very mindful of that. It is way worse closer to the back, and unless you request otherwise, the back is where cast members place disabled people by default. Then it is a slow, meandering journey parallel to the main Frontierland walkway, a left turn, and then back into the station. This roller coaster absolutely blows me away every single time I ride it. This thing is absolutely world class. It is certainly the best version of Big Thunder that I have ridden, though admittedly my only comparison is Magic Kingdom roughly 16 years ago. But I digress. There is a reason that this ride always posts some of the longest lines, and that is because it is the full package. It is an experience that offers family thrills from start to finish and outstanding world-class theming. Is it perfect? Well, in my opinion, nothing is. But as an overall experience and overall package, this is very close. So with that in mind, we give Big Thunder Mountain at Disneyland Paris 9 out of 10. Let us know if you have ridden this version of the ride and what you think about it down below. And don't forget, like and subscribe. Thanks for watching this one. We will speak to you again in the next one.